Hey, welcome, Luther. Welcome,
You,
welcome, welcome to
what's happening?
another awesome, as far as you know, uh,
Right.
episode of Cheap Shots. Um,
It's always awesome.
it's always awesome. It's always a good time, whatever. I'm Micah Warren. I'm with Luther Broughton, who is the star of the show, as far as you know. Uh, and there's a few things I want to talk about tonight, Luther. And I know we always do the NFL thing, and that's great because that's what we're into. I got it, but I know you're a big NBA fan.
Yep.
Luther has season tickets to the Charlotte Hornets, which makes him a super NBA fan. And Luther, you know what? I'm interested to hear your perspective because I'm here in the Philly market, and I get that we hear this all the time. I want to know what you think as an outside Philly market fan, dude. Ben Simmons, I'm so sick of his crap. I'm so sick of it. And now they're saying he's not going to report to camp, and he's never going to play for the Sixers again. And I'm thinking, you got some set of testicles on you.
Listen, we discussed this a couple weeks ago when I told you that I thought Charles Barkley was fair. And typically Charles is like over the top. We all know.
We love Charles here.
I mean, quite frankly, let me get closer to my mic. I'm in a new setup this time, if you can't tell.
Oh, yeah? Right.
I think Ben's being, for lack of a better term, I know we got a ton of fans listening, 80-year-olds, whatnot, little kids, all the millions of fans. Sorry for the language, but I think Ben's being a pussy. I'm sorry, man. Dude, you played like ass. Listen, did they dangle him in trades all offseason? That happens. Dude, who do you think you are? Right? Who do you think you are? Yes, they possibly want to trade you. They want to get something for you because you stunk in the playoffs. Literally stunk. Just gave up in the fourth quarter. He just didn't want to play. He didn't want to be touched because he didn't want to go to the foul line. Was Doc harsh on him in his criticism?
No, he wasn't.
But was
he kissed his ass, Luther?
Was he babying him in his criticism? No. But was he truthful in saying Ben needs to get better? Yes. And now what? What, Ben? I'll never play for them. They told me I needed to get better. Are you kidding me?
Cry me a river.
Cry me a river. I'm sorry. I think Ben's being a pussy.
He is. It's not think. It is.
I don't want to see another freaking off-season highlight film of him shooting jumpers and looking like the greatest. God. Like, get the hell out of here. I think Ben's being a chump about this. I'm sorry. It's my opinion. I'm
no. Look,
I don't know everything. I don't know a lot of stuff. And you asked my opinion, and my opinion is I think he's being a pussy.
He is, and you couldn't have hit the nail any more on the head. Where, oh, look at this Instagram video. Oh, look at him shooting 3-pointers in a gym with no one watching. Luther, I really think I think one of his big problems is he can't do it when the lights are on. And that's a big problem.
Dude, that's a huge problem, bro.
It's a huge problem.
That's not a big problem. That's an enormous problem. That's an enormous problem, man. We've got a question. Are you guys 100% sure of the whole story? What story?
That's never
We're not
the case.
Talking about a story. We're talking about our opinion on him. He got criticized, and he's pissed off because he was dangled in trades. As if you can't get dangled in trades. Everyone can get dangled in. Everyone can get offered up in a trade.
And not only that.
That's the business. That's the business. Ben is acting like he is an absolute 30-12 guy who you can count on in the fourth quarter of the playoffs. I mean, it doesn't like. I'm sorry,
Claude. Tell us the whole story. We have a comment here. Claude, tell us the whole story then, because I've watched him as much as anybody can watch him, And Luther, look, you know to a degree, and I don't say this to be insulting. You played in Philadelphia, but you were never a superstar Ben Simmons #1 overall draft pick in Philadelphia. It's not an easy place to play. It's not.
Absolutely not. But listen, man, we just re-upped you for what, 30 mil a year? Because we felt that you could play here. We felt that you could play here. We're paying you like a superstar. We're paying you like a guy that we want to show up in the fourth quarter. We show up.
To dunk a ball.
Show up. To dunk the ball under the basket. Just dunk the ball. Like that. That was the cap on everything. But if you go back the games and pull the numbers for the fourth quarters, it was like, not even exaggerating, man. He was like, what? Average like less than a point? It was
for games. I mean, if you really want to look at it, how about just look at his free throw shooting in a playoff game? He was like 4 for 11 in one game, Luther. 4 for 11? I mean, you and I can go out there and do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you're a professional athlete. You can.
No one's going to
do it.
Me. They're not going to foul me. Shoot. But seriously, man, you know what happened with?
So what are you going to get for him, Luther?
Giannis. Giannis is a terrible free throw shooter, and they kept fouling him. And you know what Giannis did? He kept going to the bucket.
He showed up, and he kept bringing it.
And over and over. He was like, foul me. I don't care. Countdown. I don't care. Ben was afraid to take free throws. Ben was afraid to take free throws. And we don't care if you miss free throws. We don't care if you miss jump shots. We care if you shrink because you don't want to. It was just so tough.
So this was always my thing with Allen Iverson. And I admitted I'm a huge Iverson fan. He was hit or miss in terms of his shooting. He knew it. Everybody knew it. But he never stopped taking it to the rack. 6 feet tall, he took it to the rack, and you would look and say, wow, he was 6 for 24 last night. How did he have 28 points? Because he was at the line.
Dude is not 6 feet tall.
Iverson?
No.
Who said that?
Dude is a midget, dude. I was there when he was there, and the first time I saw him, I was like, "This dude is like my little brother."
All right,
my little brother was in middle school.
Top of the line, he's 6 feet tall. Whatever. My point is, he was a little guy, and he would yam it. He would take it.
Dude, it's not an argument about whether you're right or not. It's even more incredible the fact that he's not even 6 feet tall. I don't think you got my point. He's not even 6 feet tall.
Fine,
and the dude might be $150. And dude didn't care. Like,
he didn't care because he would go to the line. And Luther, he wasn't he wasn't Larry Bird. He wasn't Mark Price at the free throw line. He didn't care.
He wasn't terrible at the free throw.
No. He was solid. He was good.
That was. I don't even think we should mention AI when discussing Ben.
No. My point is, even when he had off nights, Luther.
Number one, that's like you're talking apples oranges. Off night is off night. Like, Ben didn't have an off night. Ben just didn't do anything. He didn't have an off. We want him to have an off night. We want him to shoot so we can say he had an off night. That's what we want from him.
You don't even know if he had an off night.
You don't even know if he had an off night because it's like, okay, then play Tybal or however you pronounce his name. Let that guy play.
Let Matisse Tybal play because at least and he'll give you defense. But everyone's like, oh God, but look at all the things Ben does. He's afraid to shoot, and I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm not saying Ben is a bum. I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm saying he was really disappointing. And I'm saying he's being a wuss right now. I don't like the stance he's taking. Like, I'm sorry. Like
I think he's done. I think he's done in Philly.
Let me
He's
tell
done.
you something. Like Claude said, he needs to be more mentally tough. If he was mentally tough, he would make more free throws and he would show up to camp. He would show up to camp and show everybody that they're wrong about him.
Right.
All right. Let's carry on, man. Let's talk some
all right.
Since
what do you want to
do want to talk basketball, the Larry O'Brien Trophy is running through Charlotte this year. All right, next subject.
So to put a little a pin in Ben Simmons, what could they get for him, Luther? I don't think they're getting Dame Lillard.
They can get whatever a team is willing to give up for. And you know I always say that because people are like, how's that guy a first round pick? It takes one team.
Yeah.
You don't need 30 teams to pick a guy. All it takes is one.
Yeah.
There was one stupid team that was willing to take me. The Eagles drafted me. They could have been the only team that were willing to draft me. All it takes is one.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it's any shot at you, but if the Eagles didn't draft you, you could have gone undrafted.
No, that's not a shot. That's the reality of it. All it takes is one team. What if the Eagles were in love with me and took me in the third round? Right. All it takes is one team to be in love with you. You see that all the time.
Sure.
Teams fall in love with the guy who you go, he wasn't that good in college. He looks the part. He can run. He did a lot of weights at the combine, but he never produced. And teams will fall in love with the guy. That happens, whatever. But guess what? I guarantee you there are a few GMs out there that are in love with Ben Simmons. Here's why Ben hasn't been traded yet. Philly is asking for too much.
They're asking for way too much.
Philly could have gotten a nice haul already for Ben based on some of the rumors. It's rumors. But people are offering a pretty and you know how it is in the NBA. They just throw around first-round picks. Whatever. You might not get a superstar, but you could have gotten a ball player or two ball players and some picks. Listen, if you don't want the guy, go get it. Now look at what happened. Ben is now in charge. Ben is crushing his trade value.
He thinks he's a superstar, Luther.
Ben thinks he's a superstar. Ben thinks he's
not.
LeBron. He thinks he's a superstar. And he could have been by now, but he's not. I'm sorry, man. Would I want him on my team? Sure.
You wouldn't cry about it, but
I wouldn't.
You can't be hanging your hat on it either.
Mm-mm.
What are you drinking?
Water.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. I thought that was a big gallon of bourbon.
This show would be lit. Oh gosh. No, I'm drinking water, man. The Panthers play tonight, so I guess I'll start my bourbon later. The Braves already lost today, so
did they really? Thank God.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass, Braves. Who did the Panthers have tonight?
Texans.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Texans.
You know what? I don't hate Tyrod. I don't.
Yeah, you keep talking about Tyrod Taylor every week.
I don't hate him.
But guess what, Micah? Tyrod's not even freaking starting tonight. Like, good God, dude.
Who do they have starting tonight?
Tyrod's hurt.
Is that going to be a problem?
For you, apparently, because you want to make out with him, but
no, but he's already won 2 games, Luther.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did he win 2 games?
He didn't win the last 2?
He beat the Jags.
Yeah, that's a big game.
They lost to Cleveland last week.
All right. Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. This is why people shouldn't trust my sports.
Yeah. Well, let's talk Panthers Texans before we talk.
All right. So why don't you tell us, genius, who is starting for the Texans?
Well, there's a quarterback starting for the Texans.
Davis Mills?
His name is Davis Mills. Who is Davis Mills?
He's the best.
No, Davis Mills came in last week, and let's see what he did, actually. because Tyrod didn't come out in the second half, and everybody was like, "Oh, what the hell?" He was 8 for 18, 102 yards, TD, an interception, and he had a 58 rating. So
He's killing it.
I hope he stinks it up tonight because they're playing the Panthers, and that's my other team.
You have to love Darnold ripping up the Jets.
Yeah, week 1. I mean, we're on the week.
No. I get it. I just think, and I think we talked about this before. Everyone makes fun of the Browns, and we take crap for the Eagles and the Jaguars.
We won a Super Bowl. I don't want to hear it.
Man, the Jets are brutal.
Jets are brutal. And let me tell you who else hadn't won a championship in maybe in our lifetimes. The Knicks. New York fans act as if their basketball and football is just the greatest in professional sports, and they don't win shit.
I will say that the Knicks are
the Giants. I apologize. No, they have not won anything. They have not won any championships since the 70s. I don't want to hear about the Knicks improving. Fine. You have a huge market. You should be getting free agents every year. So whatever.
But, you should see what they charge for a ticket. The Knicks, but the Knicks are like a national franchise. Right? You know what I mean? But they're just constantly terrible. They're just awful.
And good. Hey, shit. My dad likes freaking New York teams. I can't believe this dude would come to the games and root for the damn Giants. I'm like, dude, I'm getting you nosebleed seats next time.
To go watch that. And I will say the Giants.
To watch my game. This dude would root for the Giants against the Eagles.
When you played?
Yes. I'm like, Luther.
Your own father?
What is going on? Yes. This dude is like full-blown New York. I'm like, you New York people.
Anyways. I will say this. New York fans, not the Jets, the Giants fans, they're very patient people. They're very nice people.
The Giants win, so whatever.
They win when they're not supposed to.
I mean, the Giants. I'm not dig the Giants, but I respect the Giants.
I do too, because they win when they're not supposed to. Yeah. In '86, they weren't supposed to win. They weren't supposed to beat the Niners in the NFC Championship game, and they won.
And they won. Listen, they won.
1990, and I talked to a good friend of mine who's a former teammate of yours, Sean Landetta, and he said in 1990, he said Parcells told them leading up to the Super Bowl, he was like, "We already lost 2 weeks ago. Like, this game's over," and they won. Man, they freaking won.
They won. Oh, Giants! And
they went against the 18-0 Patriots.
They won against the undefeated Patriots too.
They were not supposed to win that game. I didn't even think they were that good.
Let me tell you, I had so much money on that game because I
did. You really,
dude? Listen, I got to betting. One of my guys in the office, we started betting all types of stupid games, West Coast late night games, and I was like, I see how people get addicted. Because it's not money you're dealing with when you're calling a guy and say, all right, give me 50 on the Lowenbrow State.
When did I'd never known you to gamble.
It's been a while ago. I don't gamble anymore. So I got down like $1,200. And I was like, "What are you doing? Was it 1,200? It was near 1,000. It was something like 1,000." And I was like, "There's no way an NFL team is losing by more than 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl." The Giants they were plus.
Was that the line?
15 at one point. Oh. They were over 2 touchdowns at one point, and I'm like, dude, they played the last game of the season, and New England tried. And I was like, the Giants got after them. You remember that?
I remember the story of Strahan walking up to one of the Patriots players and saying, "We'll see you in the Super Bowl." And I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You are not making the Super Bowl. You're barely a wild card team.
Listen, that night I was like, this team, if they can get after the quarterback and stay healthy, they might be able to win it, right? But I was like, whatever. I put my money on it. When that Super Bowl spread was 14, 15, 16, I called that guy and I said, what do I owe? And he was like, whatever. I said, I
Double
want
or nothing.
No, hell no. I said, give me like 600-700 on the Giants. And if we won, I would give that guy $400 or $500 and quit. If they lost, I was like, man, I'm stupid, right? Dude,
what am I going to tell Zanetta?
I wasn't married, dude. This was years ago.
It was 2007. Oh, that's right. You got married in 2012?
Yes. So I didn't even know Zanetta. So I wouldn't have been betting if I was in a relationship. Like, it was just my money. So the game is on and the fourth quarter comes. I'm like, dude, I'm golden unless something stupid happens. They won. Dude, I gave that dude the money like the next day and lost his number. I did not bet ever again. Guys like bet, and I'm like, dude, it's so easy I don't do any of those sites or anything. It's too easy, man. I know I'm saying this, and we're on a
gambling network.
We're on a gambling network. I'm sorry. It's like I almost lost my shorts. I wasn't making a lot of money at the time. I was in school again. I was like, dude, what are you doing? You're betting like you got all these excess funds. So yeah, the Giants made me some money. I was really happy with the Giants that time. I had never rooted for an NFC East team in the playoffs ever, but I sure as hell rooted for the Giants that night. Plus, my dad was happy. Shoot.
Well, speaking of the Giants, do you want to? It really
is. Let's do tonight's game right quick, and then I want you not to talk about the Giants. I want to hear that Redman story.
You want to hear the Redman story?
Yeah. So let's quickly talk about this game.
Okay.
Panthers, Texans. Panthers have come out. You know, people are like, yeah, you played the Jets and you played the Saints that were ravaged by COVID, but they're number one, I think, in points allowed, and like number 4 or 5 in pressuring the quarterback. They've got some guys on defense, man. And Sam Darnold is not turning the ball over. He looks like a guy who can play quarterback. And Christian McCaffrey's back, obviously. DJ Moore is a player, and I'm just talking offense. I think the Panthers, you know, we're talking about the Texans. The Texans were supposed to be crap, but we all know, like, that doesn't necessarily work out the way it always.
Well, not having your star quarterback that hurts.
Tyrod Taylor, who was he was playing really well, and he's not there.
So wait, now I'm not stupid? I told you that.
Dude, what are you talking about? He's not there. You said
I like Tyrod Taylor.
You said Tyrod Taylor's playing tonight. No, he's not. Again,
I didn't say he was playing tonight. I said I like him.
No, that's not. We'll listen to this later. But you said that, and I said Davis White is playing. Idiot.
No, we won't.
Anyways, so the game is in Texas. Short week, but I still think the Panthers cover. It's an 8-point spread on the road against a young quarterback.
The Texans are favored by 8?
Dude, the Texans
I'm not doing that. I might get my wallet out. 8. I might get my wallet out.
They're not favored by 8. The Panthers are favored by 8.
Oh, you just said the Texans were. Oh my God, I know.
All
Get
right,
so pissed.
So I'm gonna pick the Panthers. I'm gonna let you pick.
That's a lot. That's a lot for either team, to be honest.
That's 1 touchdown and 2-point conversion. Anyways, I'm picking the Panthers. Who do you have? And you can tell your story, because I don't want to hear you say anything stupid again.
Well, then you've got problems.
Like freaking, is Donovan playing tonight? Like, no, he retired.
You don't have to be dumb about it.
What did Zanetta said when you were married to her before you met her?
Oh, right, because I was supposed to know when you married Zanetta. Okay. Put Zanetta on here. I'd rather talk to her than you. I want to know Zanetta's opinion on the Panthers game tonight.
You knew it wasn't 2007.
I didn't even know you in 2007.
Exactly, but you knew when I got married because I invited you, you dumbass.
That's right. My back went out.
Yes,
my back totally went out the night before,
pick.
and we were supposed to go to Vegas. It was your bachelor party.
No, it was my wedding.
I thought it was your bachelor party.
My wedding was,
or maybe you had a bachelor party before the wedding. I don't know.
Micah, just move on.
I just know I was supposed to go to Vegas for some stupid shit you were doing with your wife or whatever it was, and I knew I couldn't go because my back went out and I couldn't get out of bed. That's what I knew.
You sit on a throne of lies. Let's go.
You want to hear the Red Man story?
I want you to make your pick.
Oh. It's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
Wait. Are we picking who to cover or whatever?
Jesus.
I mean, I think the Panthers are going to win. I don't know. Are they going to cover 8?
We're picking whether we're not picking straight up. We've been doing this for 2 weeks now, and this guy isn't sure what we're doing.
I know.
Are you okay?
Nope.
Fine. So
I think the Panthers win by more than 8. I do.
Okay, thank you. He picked the Panthers, everyone. You guys heard that? Now that we got that out of the way.
Oh, does that make you feel better because you played for the Panthers, Luther?
No. What about McCaffrey tonight? What do you think McCaffrey's going to do tonight? He hasn't had a bust-out game. I
love McCaffrey, but he's just not a bell cow. He's not. What do you have, like 74 yards last week? Don't give me that look. I can see you. You realize that, right?
Go ahead. You're talking.
Yeah.
The people in Carolina are laughing because he's been carrying us for 2 years. I mean, you obviously don't watch the Panthers.
No, he's fantastic. I don't think he's a bell cow because I don't think he's that big and he gets hurt.
What does that mean, Michael? You can't say he gets hurt. He got hurt once last year. That's it. He carried the Panthers.
That's really recent. That's really recent.
Oh my God, Micah, you can't say stuff that's not true and then try to make it true. It's not true. It's not true. Regardless of whether he's big or small, he's been the Panthers' bell cow. Whether you believe he can do it or not. My question was, what do you think he's going to do tonight? I said he hadn't had. All right.
I got off topic. Okay.
He's a fantasy god. Do you think,
especially in PPR, he is. He's a PPR monster. I think he'll have 8 catches tonight.
He does that every night.
Wait, so now you don't like my? So if I give you a prediction, now you don't like my prediction.
He does that every night. Shit.
All right. Well, I'll take my 8 catches.
Does he break out tonight? I'm not saying. He'll give you a 40-pointer every now and then.
What's breaking out mean?
Breaking out means he gives you a fucking game like Jones gave you the other night, Aaron Jones.
Oh, that's insanity, though. That's not right.
Right, but McCaffrey gives you
I don't think so.
A year.
He'll get a touchdown tonight.
He gets
rushing or receiving.
He gets one every week.
So you don't like my? Okay, then he'll have 10 touchdowns, Luther.
I'm not saying I don't like your answer, kid. I'm having a conversation.
No, you're saying not.
He gets a touchdown. I'm saying he gets about 1 a week. I'm saying he has.
So that's okay. Then I'm not far off.
No, you're far off. That's completely different.
Then you tell me your prediction, Luther.
That's completely different from is he going to have a breakout game tonight? My iPhone 13 was shipped. Yes.
Wait, you got a 13?
Yeah, it comes tomorrow.
Oh, all right. Well,
I'm trading in the 11. It's free. Shit. Why not? I like free stuff. Anyways,
I can't even imagine the 13's out. Like I have a 10 and I love it. It's got like an X on it, and I'm like, this is awesome.
I've got the 11, and I was just going to keep it, and I was like, and they were like, hey, you can trade in your 11. And if you trade in the 11 Pro Max, you can get the 13 for free. And I was like, it's not like I'm switching to another network because you know how it is. If you cancel, they make you pay the difference. Like, I don't care. I've been on AT&T for what? 12, 15 years. I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm a techie. You know I'm crazy.
You're a consumer.
I'm a consumer. I'm
You
not
are, and you
stupid.
love to spend your money
Listen,
on like stuff.
So let me tell you what I like. You know what I like. I like techie shit stuff. I'm gonna stop cursing. And I like sneakers. I like techie stuff. I like sneakers. But you know what I do, Micah? Zanetta's like, oh my God, be quiet. Because I'm like, Zanetta, what are you doing? Why are you throwing out the box? Keep that. And she's like, why? I'm like, Zanetta, I sell these when they're up. I'll put them on eBay.
You can get a couple $100.
So I told you the other day I got these, right? I got a sweet deal on these, the Sonys. I think I told you.
That. No,
well, I got the Bose ones like 3-4 years ago.
Big mistake.
Fantastic! I love those.
Oh, Bose.
Whatever. I love those. I'm gonna keep them. I'm not telling you what's your favorite sexual position. I like those.
What the hell's that to do?
I kept the Bose. I kept them in decent condition. I kept all the little plugs, even though I didn't use them. Kept the box, posted it on eBay with the pictures of all the stuff. Looks pretty decent. Sold it for $150. It's pretty old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shit. So, but I like stuff. I sold my MacBook last year. Some lady was like, look, my son really wanted a MacBook.
You bought
He's
a fake
12.
iPad. You bought a fake iPad.
No,
it was a box of wood.
She was like, "Oh, you remember that shit?"
Yes, I remember that story.
So I'll tell that story right quick. So I go to I buy an iPad from Walmart for Alexa for Christmas, right? So
Alexa's his daughter.
Alexa's my daughter. This is like 5-6 years ago. Alexa's 18 now. She's like 12, and she had an old one, Micah. When she was a kid, she had an old one. The version 2, it was like a brick. It was terrible. And me and her mom was like, yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll get her a new one. Like, and she was like, we could split that one. We could say it's from both of us. So I got her a nice one, right? So I go to Walmart and I'm gonna go home and wrap it. Why would I open the iPad? You know what I'm saying? Why? So then I decided the next day, let me open it. Make sure it's charged for Christmas.
And I thought you decided that she didn't need it.
No. Make sure it's open. Make sure it's charged, and make sure her ID and everything is already so she won't have to do all that on Christmas Day. I open the box.
They come 80% charged, by the way.
No, some of them don't. I'm sorry. I don't want a kid to have a freaking 25% charged iPad. Christmas morning.
God forbid.
Anyways, it was a nicely cut piece of wood in the box, wrapped, and it was sealed. Dude, so I took it back to Walmart, and the lady's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, I know this sounds awful. I know it sounds. I said, I don't steal. I said, what? I said, I don't care. Bring it, shoot, because she gave me like the stink eye. She was being really a bitch.
You're
then
black,
the other lady,
she probably thought you were stealing stuff.
And it was right. Walmart is Walmart. So then the other lady comes and she's like being nasty, and the manager comes and she was like, give him his money back. I almost laughed like out loud, and I was like, I said, thank you. And the manager probably had already heard like some things were happening. But Micah, it was a fantastic job they did. Dude, it was plastics. The plastic was sealed back and suction. It was perfect. Dude, my whole stomach dropped. I'm like, dude, what if I gave this to Alexa? Dude, she would have been crying. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, fuck you, Dad. Like, you're the worst. I'm glad I don't live with you. Like, that would have been awful.
Well, she would have to know that there's no way Dad would have done this on purpose.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Oh God.
I can't believe you remember that shit.
You told it on the original Cheap Shots podcast.
I did, man. Come on,
Excuse me.
I'm getting old. I forget.
No, I think you told me on the radio. I'm on the phone.
Listen, I'm gonna get up and grab and actually make me a real drink, and it'll take literally a minute. I want you to start the Redman story.
You want me to start it?
Yes, I can hear you. I want you to start the story.
Okay, I'll start the Redman story, and I hope it's not as disappointing as I think it's going to be. So anyway, Luther, I know you can hear me. First of all, for people that don't know who Redman is, he's one of the biggest hip hop stars of the '90s. His real name is Reggie Noble. And he I don't know if you watch movies, he has a movie called How High with Method Man. And if you don't know who Method Man is, I've probably already lost you. Method Man was in Wu-Tang Clan. They had this, you remember, did you watch How High, Luther?
Yes.
Okay, so it's basically a movie about we got high and became so smart from this weed that we went to Harvard.
Cheers.
Hey, I got a little white wine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, white wine. And my drink is brown.
I know.
This is so bad.
So this is 2004, Luther. I was as a young PR person, one of my clients was and you can Google all this stuff. I don't care. Go for it. Was a recording studio called Mirror Image Recorders, owned by Tommy Uzzo and Mike Hogan. And their biggest client was Redman. Tommy Uzzo was his producer, his engineer. That's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, so when I first started working with them, they're like, Micah, we're gonna want you to come interview Reggie, and that's Reggie Noble. That's Redman.
Noble.
Huh?
That's Redman.
Redman.
Reggie Noble. He would say that in some of his tracks, and I was like, "Who's this Reggie Noble he's talking about?"
That's his real name.
That's me. Jackass.
And he's from Bed-Stuy.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Believe me. This is going to take a while.
I want to hear this.
So they're like, we want you to interview Redman, and it's for like trade press stuff, like whatever. I'm not going to explain it to you. What do you got?
Eagles. Can you see that?
Oh, you got little Eagles glasses?
Yeah.
Nice.
Go ahead.
My Eagles wine glasses are so abused that they don't even have the logo on them anymore. Which,
I like it.
Yeah.
I absolutely like that now.
So like we want you to interview Reggie, and I'm like, oh, okay, whenever you're ready. When's he going to be around? And they're like, we don't know. He shows up when he wants, and he just shows up to the recording studio. And when he's ready to record music, that's when he shows up. I'm like, all right, okay. So it was a Friday night. I got to be like 26 years old at this point. It was a Friday night. I was watching the Giants-Jets preseason game, which you can imagine is not a really hotly contested contest. Okay, it's probably the fourth one. There's probably no one watching, and I'm sitting there. Yeah, Luther Broughton's in the game, and he never even played for either of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm downing natural light. It's a Friday night. I don't know. I'm sitting in my house. I'm a single guy. Whatever.
Life. Go ahead. I'm getting my.
I'm a baller, right? You're like, oh,
absolutely.
You're home on a Friday night watching preseason football, drinking the crappiest of the crap, light beer. So I get a phone call. From Mike Hogan, and he goes, Micah. And I was like, yeah. He was like, Reggie's here. He's like, I need you to come interview him. Now, I lived in North Jersey at the time, and we would just take a jitney right into Mirror Image Recorders.
Jitney?
Is a jitney? It's like a little crap bus.
Ah.
And it was $2.
I'm from the South. I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, that's a jitney. and we'd go right into Times Square. Mirror Image Recorders is in Times Square. And he's like, Micah, I need you to come interview Reggie. He's here. And I was like, Mike, I've been watching football, drinking beer all night. And he goes, yeah, that'll make it even better. That's fine. And I'm like, I'm telling my client that I'm like drunk. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So I'm like, all right. So Luther, I put my stuff together, get my briefcase, getting ready to go interview Redman. And I look over on the side table, and there's like at least 80% of a decent sized blunt. And now, for anyone that doesn't know anything about Redman, all he raps about is weed. All the time, right? You know Redman, right, Luther? Are you a fan?
Yes.
All he sings about is weed. And I'm like, I look over at the blunt, and I'm like, dude, you could go get high with Redman. Like, this would be awesome. Like, this would be fantastic. And
you're a smoker.
But not anymore. I don't smoke anymore. But I thought about it, and I looked at it, and I was like, you know what? A lot of these people rap and sing about things that they don't really mean. So, like, does Cypress Hill really run around shooting people? No, they don't. So I looked at it, and I was like, meh, all right, whatever. So I get my stuff together. I go into Times Square. I press the button. They buzz me up. And there's a young kid who's like just working the desk or whatever. And I was like, I'm here to interview Redman. And he presses some button and he goes, okay, go ahead. So I go in and I introduce myself. I'm like, I'm Micah, whatever. And I shake Redman's hand. And he looks at me and he looks at me and he starts going like this. He starts going, you got any weed? I was like, son of a bitch.
So you don't take any weed?
I didn't take any weed, and he wanted to get high, and he had none. And I'm like, damn it. I could have gotten high with Redman. So I set my stuff up. I get all my, whatever, we do the interview. And I'm just like, son of a bitch. So I leave, and I get an idea. Now, for those of you that don't know anything about Times Square, this has worked to some degree, but let's be clear, marijuana was highly illegal in New York City and everywhere else in 2004. And I was like, I have an idea. I'm gonna fix this situation. And so as I'm walking out, I'm like, I have an idea. All right. I had done this before, and it worked sometimes, and it didn't work others. Luther, I don't know, how many times have you been to Times Square at 10 o'clock at night on a Friday night?
Not that often.
Okay. And I'm like, all right. So if you don't know what Times Square is, it's the center of New York City, and the Port Authority is right there, and I knew what I was doing, sort of. I'm like, I'm going to fix this. So I was walking by the Port Authority, which is where I would take the jitney to go back out. And I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. And you know these people. You know them. Like, you see them and you know them. And all you have to do is look over and be like, yeah, what's up? So I look over and I see this dude and I'm like, oh. And he goes, yo, what do you need? What do you need? And I was like, I said, I got 20. Can I get a 20 of weed? And he's like, yeah. Now, weed is very illegal, and you do not want to be in a holding tank in New York City because they do not care about you, and you will be there all night. So you have to be very careful. So I'm like, oh, all right. So you give him 20. He puts it in your pocket, and you're like, oh, yeah, good. I'm all excited. This has worked before, Luther. And I went back to the recording studio. I pressed the button, and it's got to be in your pocket, whatever. Good, fine. They buzz me up. I see the young kid again at the front desk, and I'm like, just tell Redman I got weed. And as I'm doing that, the order of operation was incorrect. I should have looked first before I told him I have weed, and I did not. So I'm like, yeah, just tell me. And I've never seen anyone press a button so quick. He pressed the button and goes, yeah, go right back in. Redman could not have been more excited for me to show up with weed. I'm like, as he's doing that, I pull it out of my pocket and I can see it, the little baggie. And I'm like, no, nope, 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 nope. This is bad. This is terrible. This is terrible.
Yeah,
Now,
probably.
if you don't know where Redman's from, he's from Bed-Stuy. That's Bedford-Stuyvesant, which is in
Where
Brooklyn.
Biggie's from, yeah, I know where Bed-Stuy is.
Yeah, it's like he probably did this to a lot of people. And I'm like, no. He goes, yeah. He said go back. I'm like, yeah, I know what he said. I don't know. I'm not. There's nothing more embarrassing than what's about to happen. Okay, Luther? There's nothing more embarrassing than what's about to happen. So I walk back, and I open the studio door, and Redman is like, hey, let's see it. What do you got? And I'm like, no. And he's like, what? Just what do you got? I said, no, it didn't go well. It was no. He's like, no, show me. And I was like, no. And he's like, show me. And I'm like, oh, God. Now, do you know what those large format consoles are? Like in a recording studio with all the knobs and stuff?
Mm-mm.
You've seen a recording studio, like they're these huge recording consoles.
Yeah.
And he's like, show me.
This isn't. I want to hear the story. I know.
And so I'm like, I pull it out of my pocket slowly, and I put it on the edge of the console, and I can't repeat what he said because I'm white.
Repeat what he said, but you
no.
word. Replace it with ninja.
Okay. And I put it down, and he's like, he puts his head down like on the console to examine it. And he's like, yo. He's like, Ninja, that's straight pine. He's pulling it out. He's like, yo, Ninja, that's straight pine. And it was pure pine needles.
Are you serious?
That I paid for. And I was just standing there being so embarrassing white. And all I could think of was I was just standing there thinking, can I go now? Can I leave? Like she's like, this is straight pine. This is straight pine. And I'm like, I really want to go home now. And so I go back and get on the didn't need to go home. And I thought, well, I do have that blunt at home. And I was like, no, I think we've had enough fun for tonight. No. We've had enough fun for tonight. I don't think we should enter back into this situation again. Dude, and my client, Tommy Uzzo, and again, Tommy Uzzo, Google him. That's Redman's dude. And his face was beet red. He goes, Micah, he couldn't stop laughing. He's like, you tried. So I got beat on trying to buy Redman weed from a guy at the Port Authority in New York City.
Tommy passed away.
Did he die?
Yes.
No kid. What?
Legendary New York engineer passed away at 64.
This is news to me.
Cancer, bro.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I'm friends with, you know what's funny is I'm friends with Redman on Facebook. And I remember Tommy telling me, he was like, you tried. He goes, I swear to God, he's going to remember you forever. He was like, maybe he'll have you on one of his albums. And I was like,
he might have talked about you. I'm going to listen to some of his albums now to see if he told that story.
I don't know if he remembers it, but I just remember standing there being like, I really want to go home.
I bet he's told that story.
You know what? Just for the sake of the show, I will message him and ask him if he remembers that story.
Please do.
But it was just like the most embarrassing thing in the world.
You are such a loser. I don't smoke. I don't know where to get weed. I'm such a square, but damn, at least I know what pine needles look like.
But you didn't know. He put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
I didn't know until as I said, yeah, do you message Reggie? I got it. And then I looked in my pocket and was like, oh, no, I don't.
Message Reggie. Hey, listen, fool. The game is about to start, and I have a dilemma.
What's
Do you
the
play
dilemma?
Smith or Anderson, Panthers wideout?
I have Robbie on my team. I like Robbie.
Or Cordero Patterson, who's the
Dude, he's killing it right now. He's got
They
like
don't
5
have a running back.
touchdowns.
He's got 2.
Well, they got Mike. No, he had a bunch
He
against
had
the
2
Eagles.
last week. He had none against the Eagles. They didn't score a touchdown against the Eagles.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
My God, you're making shit up.
I like to do that. That
So
happens.
Devontae or Robbie? Anderson.
I like Robbie. I do.
I do too. But I think the Eagles are going to try to force feed Devontae on his first Monday night game.
Maybe.
I don't know. I hate fantasy.
Don't forget on Monday we have you and I have a fantasy draft.
I have stuff to do on Monday.
No, you don't. You said you could do it.
I don't recall.
What? We have an NBA draft.
I don't recall.
Luther,
I don't recall.
you gonna let me draft the team? I already paid for it.
Lord knows
you wouldn't.
Why not? Because I said I didn't want to do basketball fantasy. It's too much work.
I said 1:00 on Monday. We have a fantasy basketball
1:00?
draft.
Who does a draft at 1:00?
They're restaurant people.
I'm certain I'm at the dentist on Monday.
I need your help.
I'll help you.
I don't know anything about basketball other than Ben Simmons.
Me either. All right, I think I'm going with Devontae Smith since you said Robbie Anderson.
Go for it. I don't care.
Watch Robbie go off tonight. Cool.
Yeah, man, watch him closely.
I think we should end on that.
All right, let's end on the Red Man story. You just think it's funny that I'm an embarrassment.
I think it's funny that you are Michael Scott and you went and bought caprese salad. Michael brought caprese salad to try to set dude up.
That's like when he showed up to Times Square and he was like, "Get some of my favorite New York pizza," and it was Sparrow's.
Oh, yes. He's so bad.
All right, look, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys for listening. If you did or didn't listen, I don't care. Whatever. I'm Micah Warren. This is Luther Broughton, and we'll be back. What? Tonight. We'll be back on Monday.
We doubled our listeners. It was 1.5 last week. It's 3 this week.
We'll be back on Monday.
Is your mom listening?
I don't know why you would ask a question.
We didn't pick the games,
huh?
We didn't pick the games.
All right. I mean,
we had stuff to talk about.
Were we supposed to?
I don't know. Listen.
Our bosses don't care because they know how dumb you are, and they know that you don't know anything.
Whatever. We'll be back Monday.
All right, we'll be back Monday. Take care. Peace out, Luther. Love you, bro.
All right,
be good. All right.
Peace.
Yeah, peace.